Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadanti Swapatantikam Mandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsyam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parjana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vidam Sya Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabano Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpadarubhecha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shikshartha Mekha Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dhari Kripam Pudiryastamham Prabhadhyem Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktigam Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hari Om Tat Sat. Okay. So welcome all the devotees for today's teachings of Lord Chaitanya class. We are reading from chapter 22nd. Okay, we are continuing from this paragraph. Okay. Okay. Lord Chaitanya protested against being called the Supreme Lord. My dear sir, I am an ordinary living entity. I cannot know the real meaning of the Vedanta Sutra. But Vyasadeva, who is an incarnation of Narayana, knows its real meaning. No ordinary living entity can interpret the Vedanta Sutra according to his mundane conceptions. So why is that Lord Chaitanya refused to be addressed as Supreme Lord? What is the reason? He protested against being called the Supreme Lord. Although he is Supreme Lord. Why did he protested for that? What was the reason? Any idea? Because his avatara is a Channa avatara. Channa avatara means hidden avatara. It's not openly declared. His avatara is not openly declared. It is confidential. Okay. It's hidden. That's why hidden. And he came in the guise of a devotee. He didn't come as an avatara. Krishna appeared as an avatara. Okay. Rama appeared as an avatara. Okay. It's open. Even before their appearance, it was predicted, it was there, and everyone knew it. But here, it's not there. Okay. Lord Krishna appeared in Dwapara Yuga. So before that, it was already written down by Vyasadeva that Lord Krishna will appear in Dwapara Yuga. Lord Rama will appear in Treta Yuga. Okay, and Parashurama will appear. All these avatars were already, given by Vyasadeva. And what about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also given, but in a hidden way. Only the pure devotees, the acharyas, could make out. So when he came in the guise of a devotee, He didn't want to declare that he is an avatara. So that's why he protested being called the Supreme Lord. So he is telling, ordinary persons cannot understand the real meaning of Vedanta Sutra. Okay? Only the pure devotees of Lord will understand the meaning of Vedanta Sutra in the right perspective. And Vyasadeva is one among them. So that's why he said Vyasadeva, who is an incarnation of Narayana, knows its real meaning. No ordinary living entity can interpret the Vedanta Sutra according to his mundane conceptions. Why? Why ordinary living being cannot interpret, but at the same time the pure devotees can interpret? What is the difference between the pure devotees and the ordinary living beings? What is the difference? No idea? Why they can interpret rightly, why we cannot interpret? What is the reason? What is the difference between them and us? What is the difference? The pure devotees of the Lord, they are beyond the three modes of material nature. Okay? So whatever they write, there will be no flaw. Okay? It will not be subjected to the flaws of the three modes of material nature which we are subjected to. Okay? Now, what are those? Imperfect senses, committing mistakes, cheating propensity, subject to be illusioned. They are all under this. These four flaws or four imperfections, which is under the modes of material nature. They are beyond these three modes. So whatever they write, because they are realized saintly personalities, they are not touched by the influence of the three modes of material nature. So whatever they write, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, there will be no flaws, and it will be the right interpretation. So that is the reason. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that mundane people cannot interpret the Vedanta Sutra in the right perspective. In order to curb commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra by unscrupulous persons, the author himself, Vyasadeva, has already commented upon the Vedanta Sutra by writing Srimad Bhagavatam. So the natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vyasadeva didn't want the ordinary people to interpret the Vedanta Sutra. He himself wrote the commentary, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, for the Vedanta Sutra. In other words, the best explanation of a book is written by the author himself. No one can understand the author's mind unless the author himself discloses the meaning of these words. Therefore, the Vedanta Sutra should be understood through Srimad Bhagavatam, the commentary written by the author of the Vedanta Sutra. So the author himself writes the commentary of the Vedanta Sutra. Only he understands the inner meaning of what he has written. Others will not be able to interpret it in the right way. So he himself has commented, and that's called Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, on our own, with our own intellectual, ideas or mind, we will not be able to interpret these things in the right way. So this has to be explained by a bona fide Acharya who comes in the discipline succession. Only then we will be able to understand. With our own little or tiny mind and senses, we won't be able to interpret it in the right way. Pranava or Omkara is the divine substance of all the Vedas. Omkara is further explained in the Gayatri Mantra exactly as it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, the definition, the explanation of the Omkara is given in the Gayatri Mantra. Okay, exactly as it is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So you will not find any difference in the scriptures. One scripture says something, another scripture says something else. So then, so in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 4 verses written in this connection, and these were explained to Brahma by Lord Krishna himself. In his turn, Brahma explained them to Narada, and Narada explained them to Vyasadeva. So by this way, an unbroken chain of disciplic succession is created. So Lord Brahma heard it from Krishna, okay, and Brahma gave it in turn to his disciple Narada Maharshi. Narada Maharshi gave it to Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva gave it to Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami gave it to the Siddha Goswami. Siddha Goswami recited this in the Naimisharanya. So many other sages said. Like that, we get this information undiluted, unadulterated in the bona fide disciplic succession. In this way, the purport of the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam has come down through disciplic succession. It is not that anyone and everyone can make his own foolish commentary on the Vedanta Sutra and mislead his readers. So here, one thing is clearly mentioned by Srila Prabhupada, that we should stick to the bona fide commentary. There are many people who write commentary or who writes their own opinion about the scriptures. We should avoid reading them because they are all within the clutches of the three modes of material nature, and their explanation is imaginary. It may or may not be right, because they are subject to these four defects. Which are those four defects? As I explained earlier: committing mistakes, imperfect senses, cheating propensity, and subject to be illusion. So that is the reason we should not listen to anybody other than the devotees who come in the bona fide disciplic succession. What happened? If you do that, then we will be misled. Anyone who wants to understand the Vedanta Sutra must read Srimad Bhagavatam carefully. Under the instructions of Narada Muni, Vyasadeva compiled Srimad Bhagavatam with the purpose of explaining the aphorisms of the Vedanta Sutra. So who instructed, who inspired Vyasadeva? Narada Muni, his spiritual master. Okay. Then under his instruction, he compiled or composed Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the natural commentary for the Vedanta Sutra. In writing Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva collected all the essence of Upanishads, purport of which was also explained in the Vedanta Sutra. Srimad Bhagavatam is thus essence of all the Vedic knowledge, that which is stated in the Upanishads and restated in the Vedanta Sutra is explained very nicely in Srimad Bhagavatam. So one who can really understand Srimad Bhagavatam, because it is essence of all the Vedic literatures. Say for example, there is a tree. There are different parts of the tree. There is root, the trunk, the branches, the twigs, the leaves, and the flowers, the fruits. These are all part of the tree. Which is the best part of the tree? The fruit, right? Fruit also, there are different types. Kacha, raw, ripe, fully ripe. Okay, and again, that which is bitten by a parrot or any bird. So which one is the best and the sweetest among those?
Yeah, this the one which is having bitten by the parrot or bird.
Because the bird knows very well which is the sweetest one among that. So Srimad Bhagavatam is like that. Vedas are considered to be, you can treat the different Vedas and Upanishads and other scriptures like the root or trunk, okay, the leaves and twigs and the fruits. So the fruit is the Srimad Bhagavatam, the ripened fruit. Pipada Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Okay, you have to drink this juice. And that fruit which has no seed nor any skin. Okay, so sweet, and it's bitten by the parrot called Sukha. Who is the Sukha? Sukadeva Goswami, who is the reciter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So which doesn't mean that all the Vedic literatures, like Upanishads and Puranas and so many Vedas, this is wrong. So among that, this is the best. This is the essence of. So the essence of the tree is the fruit. Isn't it? The essence of the tree is the fruit. And that fruit which is really ripened and tasted by a parrot or any birds, which is the sweetest one. So this sweet, Srimad Bhagavatam, is like a this fruit, this Srimad Bhagavatam is like a fruit which has no seed, no skin, and full of juice. So we have to just drink it. Usually we drink it, with our mouth, but we have to drink this, juice of the Srimad Bhagavatam through the ears. How can we do that? Shravanam, by hearing. So we drink this juice through our karma rantra, very nicely hearing from the devotees of the Supreme Lord. So that's why Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all the Vedic literatures. So if you read and understand Srimad Bhagavatam, it is as good as reading all the Vedic literatures. You don't have to read in other Vedas and Puranas, and because essence is already given. The essence of all the Vedas are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. And so that is the speciality of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the second and third verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, very nicely given the importance and the significance of Srimad Bhagavatam. So any comments or any questions in these two paras?
One comment not related to this.
Yeah.
Now there was some background noise was coming, and just now it stopped. It seems like because this session is recorded, no? So I was just thinking.
Okay. I think they were doing vacuum there. Maybe that.
Okay, then it is fine. Okay. I thought something, connection or some other issues.
No,
Then it's fine. It's okay, Prabhuji. Yeah,
okay. So shall we continue the next para? There's a verse in the Upanishads similar to one found in Srimad Bhagavatam, which states that whatever one sees in the cosmic manifestation is but the Supreme Lord's energy and is non-different from Him. So in the Upanishad, it's very clearly mentioned, whatever we see in this cosmos is directly or indirectly, some way or other connected to the Supreme Lord. The source is Lord Krishna or Vishnu. So either it is his all-pervasive nature of the Brahman or the partial expansion as Paramatma. Okay, so this is directly or indirectly his own energy, which is all-pervasive. So basically, what we are seeing is non-different from the Supreme Lord's energy. Consequently, he is the controller, friend and maintainer of all living entities. We should live by the mercy of the God and take only those things which are allotted to us according to our particular living condition. In this way, by not encroaching on others' property, one can enjoy life. So which is that verse which explains about this in Upanishad? Paramananda Purushottam Prabhu, you know it. Which is that verse? We should live by the mercy of God and take only those things which are allotted to us according to our particular living condition. You remember? It's Upanishad. The first sloka. Not the invocation, the first one.
Ishavasam sarvam.
Isavasim idam sarvam yat kincha jagatim jagat tena tektvena bhunjita ma grida kasu siddhana. Okay? Isavasim idam sarvam. Whatever is there within this universe is controlled and owned by the Supreme Lord. No one else can claim the ownership or controllership of this. Okay, he is the only owner, proprietor and controller. And we should not, everyone has been given a particular quota in this material world for his sustenance. We should not encroach upon others' quota or property, knowing which that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord and we have been allotted and we should take only that. So this is what Isavasam in Upanishad says. Okay, so Upanishad says. So in this way, by not encroaching on another's property, one can enjoy life. Everybody has the right to live in this material world. With the quota that is allotted to him, he can enjoy. Not the quota is allotted. So the animals have a particular quota. They will not deviate from their quota. Will any animal, encroach upon somebody else's quota? They will not. But only the human beings. We have this tendency to encroach upon somebody else's quota want to enjoy? When we have our own quota, why do you want to, enjoy somebody else's quota? So we are the people, we are the only species on this face of earth or in this material world who exploits everything. The elephant, it has a quota that is in the leaf or whatever it is. It eats only that. It will not come and eat our prasadam. Okay, it is, and all the elephants are confined to the jungle. They have their food there, and as per the laws of nature, they will live by themselves. So that's what Lord Krishna says. In other words, the purport of the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra and Srimad Bhagavatam is one and the same. Okay, so it's not that it is different. In Upanishads they say something, Purana they say something else, and and Vedas something else. Everything is in what you call corresponding to each other. Everything is same. Okay, some gives details, some give brief information. If one studies Srimad Bhagavatam carefully, he will find that all the Upanishads and the Vedanta Sutra are nicely explained therein. Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us 3 subjects: how to re-establish our eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, how to act in that relationship, and lastly, how to achieve the highest benefit from it. So what does it mean? These 3 processes or 3 relationship. Can anyone say? What knowledge is that? That 3, that is what is explained here. Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us 3 subjects: how to re-establish our eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, how to act in that relationship, and lastly, how to achieve the highest benefit from it. What is it? You remember? What jnana is this?
Sambandha, Abhidaya.
Yeah, Sambandha jnana, Abhidaya jnana, and Prayojana. Okay, Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana. Sambandha is the relationship that we have with our Supreme Lord. Abhidaya is the process by which we can, get to know that, and Prayojana is the ultimate benefit from it. Okay, the 4 Srimad Bhagavatam verses beginning with Aham Evasam Eva Gre are the gist of the whole Bhagavatam. See, there are 4 seed verses, just like in Bhagavad Gita also there are Chatusloki. In Bhagavatam also there are 4 Chatusloki. Okay, which is the Chatusloki of Srimad Bhagavad Gita? Which are those? What is that, Maji? The first. Yeah, what is the first one? Aham sarvasya prabhavo matha sarvam pravartede iti matva bhajante mam vidhava samani matchitta madgada prana bodhayanta parasparam khadayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamadicha tesham tadayutanam bhajadam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogandam enamam upayantide tesham evanu kampartam aham ajnana jam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastu jnana deepena bhasvada. These are the 4 seed verses, Chatusloki. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, so these are the 4 verses actually spoken by Krishna to Brahma. And Brahma elaborated. Okay, he made it 18,000 verses for us. But there are crores of verses in the higher planet system. Srimad Bhagavatam is only 18,000 years given to us in this material world. But it goes in crores in the higher planet system. It seems that when Lord Shiva got it, it's 100 crores verse, something like that. 100 crores verse. So
Prabhuji, one third.
Yeah, distributed like that. So this is it. So Srimad Bhagavatam, it has 18,000 verses, expanded from these 4 seed verses, which start from this particular verse, Aham Evasam Eva Gre. It is 2.9.33 to 36 are the 4 verses. Okay, so you can just go through it, and it contains the essence of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. 2.9.33, 34, 35, 36 are the gist of the whole Bhagavatam. These are nicely summarized by Lord Chaitanya as follows. I, Krishna, am the supreme sender for the relationship of all living entities. Okay, that is what, I, Krishna, am the supreme sender for the relationship of all the living entities, and knowledge of me is the supreme knowledge. The process by which a living entity can attain me is called Abhideya. Okay, by it one can attain the highest perfection of life, love of Godhead. So Krishna is the Supreme Lord, okay, and the process to attain him is called Abhidaya, that is Bhakti, and the ultimate result by doing that Bhakti is attaining love of Godhead of Krishna. So Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. When one attains love of Godhead, his life becomes perfect. The explanation of these 4 verses is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Lord Chaitanya gave a short description of the principles of these verses. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, short description of these 4 verses, seed verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, which was originally given by Krishna to Brahma, during the discussion between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Prakashananda Saraswati. He gave a short description. He said that by mental speculation or academic education, no one can understand the constitutional position of the Supreme Lord. How he is situated, his transcendental qualities, his transcendental activities, and his 6 opulences. These can be understood only by the mercy of the Lord. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, one who is fortunate enough to receive the Lord's favor can understand all these explanations by the mercy of the Lord. Okay. Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnana jam tamaha. Right? So by his mercy only, the light of knowledge, the lamp of knowledge will be illuminated. Okay, here, so as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, one who is fortunate enough, okay, Jnana Yatma, what is it? Tesham evanukampartham aham jnana jam tamha nashayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena baswadaha. And before that, Tesham sadada yuktanam bhajadam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam enamam. These 2 verses. The Lord existed before the material creation. Okay. Therefore, the material ingredients, nature and the living entities are emanated from him. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita again, Aham Sarvasya Prabho. Okay. So everything is emanated from him. That means all this before the creation of this material he is existing. That is what it says. The Lord existed before the material creation. Therefore, the material ingredients, nature and the living entities are emanated from him. And after dissolution, they rest in him. Okay? Once everything is unmanifested, everything goes back to him only. When the creation is manifest, it is maintained by him. So during when it is created, it is maintained by him. Creation is done by him, maintained by him, and dissolution is also done by him. So all the 3. Okay. So that's how we get God, God, generator, operator, destroyer. So that's our interpretation. God means generator, who generates everything, operator, who operates everything, who destroys everything. So it is maintained by him. Indeed, whatever manifestation we see is but a transformation of its external energy. So whatever we are seeing in this material world is nothing but the transformation of his Bahiranga Shakti, external energy. Okay. When the Supreme Lord withdraws his external energy, everything enters into him. Okay. So sometimes he manifests it, sometimes he unmanifests it. So when he manifests, this whole material creation can be seen. It will come into existence. When he winds up, it goes back to Him only. In the first of the 4 verses, the word Aham is given 3 times to stress that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is full with all opulences. Aham is stated 3 times just to chastise one who cannot understand or believe in the transcendental nature and form of the Supreme Lord. So this Aham evasam evagre, this Aham evasam evagre, in that verse 3 times Aham is mentioned. That's explanation given in this para. The Lord possesses his internal energy, his external, marginal and relative energies, and the manifestation of the cosmic world and the living entities. So the Lord has multivarious energies, of which 3 are the prime energies, that is internal energy by which all the spiritual realm, spiritual world is sustained, and external energy all is material world is sustained, and marginal energy all the living entities are. Okay. So the external energy is manifested by the qualitative modes, gunas of material nature. We know that there are 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, tama. One who can understand the nature of the living entity in the spiritual world can actually understand Vedyam or perfect knowledge. One cannot understand the Supreme Lord simply by seeing the material energy and the conditioned soul. But when one is in perfect knowledge, he is freed from the influence of the external energy. The moon reflects the light of the sun, and without the sun, the moon cannot illuminate anything. So why we are existing? Because the Lord is there. Okay? We are totally dependent upon the Supreme Lord. Our existence, the source, the foundation of our existence is because of the Supreme Lord. The moon cannot reflect light if sun is not there. So that's why this analogy is given here. Without the sun, the moon cannot illuminate anything, because the source from where is getting this moon is getting is the sun. Similarly, this material cosmic manifestation is but the reflection of the spiritual world. When one is, so it's a perverted reflection. Okay. In Bhagavad Gita we see Urdha Mula Mata Shakam Ashwatam Praurabeyam Chandamsi Yasa Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavet. Okay. Urdha Mula Mata Shakam. The roots are up, the shakas, the branches are down. So just like how we see a banyan tree when we go to a bank of a river, how it reflects on the river, on the water, we can see the roots are up and the branches are down, up, upside down. So similarly, the spiritual world is there, top, and the material world is here. It's a perverted reflection. The material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Just like how we see the banyan tree on the water near the bank of the river. Similarly, this material cosmic manifestation is but a reflection. How the reflection is perverted. So that's why this is temporary, that is permanent. It's a reflection. Reflection can never be permanent. See, if you see that, you just throw some stone in that water, shakes, isn't it? But actually the real tree shakes? It's not, isn't it? So this is a reflection. It's a perverted reflection. You don't touch the tree, just put some stones in the water, the tree shakes, because it's a reflection. Similarly, this material is also a perverted reflection of the original spiritual world. When one is actually liberated from the spell of the external energy, he can understand the constitutional nature of the Supreme Lord. So only on a liberated platform will understand the constitutional nature of the Supreme Lord. Devotional service to the Lord is the only means for attaining Him. We cannot please the Supreme Lord by any means except devotional service. Can we, get things done? We can get things done by bribing, by giving money in this material world. Many things we can get done. isn't it? But can we bribe the Supreme Lord and attain Him? No. So only through love. So even in the material world, if we take some mundane example, the children and the parents' relationship, how the children can really get the love of the parents, or the vice versa, through love only, not by giving some material gifts. Through love only we can attain the love of others. So devotional service is the only way to attain the Supreme Lord. And this devotional service can be accepted by everyone and anyone in any country under any circumstance. Devotional service is above the 4 principles of religion, culminating liberation. What are the 4 principles of religion that is mentioned here? What are those? Devotional service is above the 4 principles of religion, culminating in liberation. So what are those? You know it. The last is liberation. Purusharthas. What are the Purusharthas?
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha.
Yes, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Okay, these are the 4 principles of religion. Dharma, Artha, Kama. What is Dharma? Religiosity, religion. We all follow Dharma. We don't want to be adharmic. We want to follow the Dharma because we are human beings. We have special Viveka Buddhi, special intelligence. We are not like animals. So we want to follow Dharma. We don't want to cheat somebody. We don't want to, encroach upon somebody else's property. We don't want to enjoy somebody else's property. We want to follow Dharma. These are dharmic. We want to follow certain etiquettes, the codes of religion. We want to follow Dharma. Usually every civilized citizen in a country, be it Hindu or any other, they want to follow their Dharma. Okay, then why do we follow Dharma? What is the purpose behind following a Dharma, following religion? Artha, to get money. Sense enjoyment. Then later. So once we get money, Artha, Kama. What is Kama? We want to enjoy our senses. We can enjoy, we want to enjoy our senses plus the extended senses. What is the extended senses? I want to become happy. I want to be a very nice person. I want to get lot of money. I want to get so much of property, comfort, facilities, name, fame, strength, beauty, everything. This is my enjoyment. What is the extended sense enjoyment? Not only, what is that? Yeah, not only that I want my wife, my children, my friends, my society, my country, everybody to be, in that condition. It's the extended sense enjoyment. So once we get Artha, we want to enjoy this way for self and the extensions. This is Kama. But then this Kama, we get stuck there. It's not enough. When I get 10, I want 100. When I get 100, I want 1000. In terms of money, I'm telling. This goes in different aspects also. Not only in terms of money, for strength, name, fame. All these things. So these are all, Kama. These are all sense enjoyment only. Not only in terms of money. I want name, possession, wealth, strength, influence. These all are for our sense enjoyment. But then we don't get satisfied with this. When I get so much little, I want more. When I get more, I want still more. It never, that satisfaction is never. So we keep striving for getting more and more, or for enjoying more and more Kama. We get stuck there. So the liberation part is not there at all. We are not trying to get liberation at all. Very seldom people will try for liberation. Okay, so that's also that liberation is also what sort of liberation they are trying? To merge or to lose the identity, which is again material. which is again material. That's what. Yes, Kapil Prabhu, you wanted to ask something.
This dharma and artha, that relation, you said from dharma, artha, is achieved. So that is still not very clear how
Okay.
dharma
See,
will be.
generally in the material world, we, for example, let me put in this way. We are working in a company. Okay, we follow the rules and regulations of company. Okay, that is the religion. That is the course of the company. Why we follow the properly all the rules and so that we get recognized, we get very good name in this records of the company, we get good salary, increment, bonus, and all these things. Why do we want this? Because with this money we want to enjoy, we want to pay the bills, we want to go for cinema, want to go for picnic, artha, we are working for that, isn't it? So following the religion in this material world is to get economic development, so that we can enjoy with that money the senses, our senses, the extended senses. You got it?
I thought I misunderstood the word dharma itself. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. This is how it is. Dharma here means we are just following the rules and regulation of this particular place. We don't deviate from that. But actual dharma is totally different. But this is within the material world. All the Vedas deal with these four things: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. How we can, if you follow the dharma, how you will get the fruits, how you can enjoy the fruits. Then when you are totally fed up, how you can get liberation from this material world, from the clutches of Maya. So these are the four principles, religious principles, dealt in the Vedas. But Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't speak these four things. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks something really higher, the Panchama Purushartha. And what is it called? What is it called?
Attain the pure love of God.
Yes, pure love of God, Krishna Prema. So usually this is not dealt in the Vedas. The Panchama Purushartha, the love of God, that is our ultimate goal. That you will not find in Upanishads or Vedanta Sutra, Vedas and everything. This will find only in Srimad Bhagavatam. So by studying Srimad Bhagavatam, you will get the Panchama Purushartha. So that's it. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Okay. So moksha also liberation. Liberation means it's the for jnanis, they want to get out of the material existence, because this material world is very difficult place. Okay. That's why they want liberation. Liberation means usually the term denotes that merging with the supreme effulgence. The devotee doesn't aspire for that. The devotee wants love of Godhead, eternally serve the Supreme Lord. That is the actual dharma of the living entity. That's the actual dharma. No, the dharma of sugar, what is it, Kapil Prabhu? Yes, to give sweetness. The dharma of fire, to give light and heat. Right? The fire says from tomorrow onwards I will not give light and heat. So is it fulfilling the dharma?
No.
Similarly, what is our dharma? Jivere Swarupohe Krishnaya Nitya Das. This is our dharma. Jivera Swarupohe Krishnaya Nitya. We are Nitya Das of Krishna, eternal servant of Krishna. So we are supposed to serve him. Devotional service. Mamai Vamshu Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Okay. We're all the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord in this material world. So the part, what it is supposed to do? To serve the whole. Okay, as usually when I say, the part of this laptop has to serve the whole unit of laptop. Isn't it? The screw in this laptop has to serve the whole unit laptop. The screw cannot say, I will not serve, I will sit idle, I will not do my job. Similarly, we being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, Nityera Krishna Das, we are eternal servants, so our duty is to serve. Just like how this, sugar and salt does its dharma, we have to do our dharma. This is our dharma. But that dharma for religious principles, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, purushartha, that dharma is just for our material benefit.
Clear.
Okay, so this is the difference. Okay, therefore, irrespective of one's caste, creed, color, yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhuji. The first line, Prabhuji, they're saying the relative energy of the God, Prabhuji. That I heard the first line.
There are so many, that's why I said, there are so many energies for the Supreme Lord. The Lord possesses his internal energy, his external energy, marginal and relative energy. Because there are different tattvas, different energies. Shakti is there. Shakti is, of course, energy. Shiva tattva is different. Jiva tattva is different. Guru tattva is different. These are all, coming different energy. Okay. So it's not limited to these three, but within these three also there are many subcategories, and apart from that also there are many. Within this spiritual energy there are Sandhini, Samhit and Kladini. So there are different energies within this. In a broad way we can say this is limited to three, and within that three there are so many relative. That's why it is said relative energies. So if we take the example of spiritual energy, okay, Andaranga Shakti, that is again subcategorized as Sandhini, Samhit and Kladini. Okay, and when we say the marginal energy, there are so many subcategories. External energy like that. So that's the relative energies.
Thank you.
External, Prabhuji, this external energy, which is for the creation, right? That is
material world,
external energy. So still I am not very clear that what we can consider. Okay, internal energy, spiritual world, we have said, right? But for the external energy, like example I am trying to correlate, how can we say?
It's the material nature.
Okay.
This material nature is external energy of the Supreme Lord. We are seeing the mountains, the rivers, the oceans, the trees and the plants, and these are all.
It is ultimately energy of the Lord only.
Yeah, these are all manifestation of external energy.
Clear, Prabhu. Yeah, clear.
Of course, the trees and plants that has life, it comes in the living, it is a marginal energy. But apart from that, immovable, chara achara, okay. Of course, not living entities. Apart from living entities, whatever you see within the material world, so all the manifestation of external energy. The trees and plants are living entities, so they come under marginal energy.
We are one of the external energy, part of like.
We are marginal energy. Dasa Shakti. Not in external, not in internal. In between.
Okay, clear, Prabhu. Thank you.
So we'll read the last pair of this chapter. Therefore, irrespective of one's caste, creed, color, country, etc., one should approach a bona fide spiritual master and hear from him everything about devotional service. So why? The ultimate purpose is to get the love of Godhead. Prayojana. So for that, we have to approach a spiritual master who will in turn train us or guide us, teaches us how to do this devotional service to attain that. The real purpose of life is to revive our dormant love of God. It is there. Love of God is there within everyone's heart, but it's sleeping, dormant position. We have to revive that. Indeed, that's our ultimate necessity. How that love of God can be attained is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. There is theoretical knowledge and specific or realized knowledge. Okay, theoretical knowledge we are reading now, we are understanding that realized knowledge comes only when we apply that knowledge in practice. And perfect realized knowledge is attained when one realizes the teachings received from the spiritual master. So one has to approach a spiritual master under whose guidance, we should train ourselves to attain the Supreme Lord's love of Godhead. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was explaining to Prakashanda Saraswati and his followers about the main principles given in the 4 seed verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, starting from Aham Evasam Evagre. Okay, 2 point. So if you get time, you all can go 2.9.33 to 36. So the seed verses. So if you can by heart, it is very good. So all the 4 seed verses of Bhagavad Gita and 4 seed verses of Bhagavatam, please try to by heart. If you know these 4 verses, you know the whole, it is essence. 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita, very nicely Krishna establishes he is the supreme personality of Godhead. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, which chapter? The 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Shloki. What is that?
10.
Yeah, which verses?
8, 9, 10, 11.
Yes, 10.8 to 11. 10.8 to 11. And Bhagavatam 2.9, 33 to 36. So you can note down. So thus we have finished our 22nd chapter. Next is 23rd. We will take next week. Why study the Vedanta Sutra? Okay, that is this thing. So I will stop here. Hare Krishna. I will stop recording.